For as long as they have recorded history, the Revenant have been scholars and have searched for answers to questions that they have about the world around them. They used to live peacefully in the center of a canyon where they built a rather modest hall of knowledge, around which grew the city of knowledge, Zavoria. When they were tested by the goddess Alashar, the Revenants split, following the seven masters who passed Alashar's test in their journeys into the unknown. In their excitement, they left the city of knowledge mostly empty and deserted, a ghost of its former self. In 7 directions the masters walked, and found 7 different landmarks, which inspired them. At each of the places, they stopped. Their followers began building new cities and new halls of knowledge. Thus began the schools of magic's division from one another, and it has remained ingrained in them from this point on. The original masters each scheduled themselves in quiet contemplation, every now and then appearing to give words of wisdom to lead their people down the path of success. Eventually these masters grew to be revered, and they gained the moniker Grand Master. When the Grand Master died, they passed all of their knowledge into their child. Thus, a new Grand Master who would step up and schedule themselves to search for answers to questions left behind by their ancestors. About 150 years after the Great Divide, the 7 schools had expanded and had started to get in the way of each other's growth. The masters of the schools wished not to disturb the Grand Masters in their important study and attempt to handle these situations on their own. Unfortunately, they couldn't, because each master wanted the best for its school, causing no one to be able to compromise. This caused tension amidst the schools, each believing they were the future of the Revenant because the goddesses had blessed them. After about a year of this tension, the schools fought outright. Many died in those ensuing battles. Alliances were formed and broken. The fighting continued seemingly without end. The battles were always fought away from the cities, so each Grand Master wasn't disturbed by the righteousness of the battle. At the start of the 2nd year, the Divination Grand Master got a foul premonition and pulled himself out of his seclusion. After securing his school's safety, he began rousing the other Grand Masters to end this senseless bloodshed. It took him 3 years to do this. At the end of the 5th year, the 7 Grand Masters brought their people together once again in the Forgotten City. There they came to an agreement and decided to reunite their people under a council represented by a school building. The 7 schools returned to bring their various school towers and attach them to the old Hall of Magic, thus forming the Eternal Academy. The 7 cities were not abandoned, and serve now as the home base of each school, but they all share common ground in the Eternal Academy. It was agreed upon that the Grand Masters meet once every year for a week to discuss what transpired within the last year and if any decisions need to be made. It has been peaceful within the Revenant since, until the formation of the Kingdom of the 3 Tribes, and the recollection of the Academy to the capital. In recent times, the Council has agreed to meet every year upon the appearance of the Aurora.